Hello everybody and welcome to Driving with Goldbridge. We're back, we're absolutely back, and I hope we're all doing well. I don't know why I'm actually wearing sunglasses, because I'm almost like a rebel. Not because I'm wearing some sunglasses. I'm a rebel with a cause, not a rebel without a cause, because basically I'm sort of being defiant that that it is the summer and it's raining, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to not wear my sunglasses. It's mid-June and I don't care if it's raining. I'm still going to wear my sunglasses. I'm a bit like Bono, a bit of a big head just wearing sunglasses. But how are we all doing anyway? Hope you're all doing well. Nice to be back doing a channel on this video, or a video on this channel. I'm getting all nervous. I never get nervous, but no, it's good to be back. I'm trying to think of, I've got quite a few things to talk about actually. Lots of answers to some of the stuff that I've been reading about on Twitter and social media about me, so we'll do some of that. But yeah, not been too bad. What's been going on? I'm sure a lot of people want to know what's going on with John. We're not talking anymore. I made John cry, basically. Yeah, me and John, we don't always see eye to eye. That wasn't a Trump, by the way. That was me just putting my window wipers on. And for some reason, this car isn't particularly old, but the window wipers always go. I think it's a scam. I think it's a well-known thing in the car industry that you don't, you know, give them a new car, but don't give them good windscreen wipers, because, you know, one bit of rain in the crap. Somebody will be telling me now, you're doing it all wrong, mate. You're doing it all wrong. But anyway, yeah, I fell out with John. Can't say I'll miss him. Happened a few weeks ago. Basically, John's had a new car. And he sits it on his drive, which is a good place to put a car, to be honest. You know, you don't want to put it on the roof of your house, which would just be hideous. But yeah, his I thought that house was sold. Can't sell it. Basically, plot of land, tiny plot of land, right? They want to sell the house for £1.5 million, 1.5 million they want to sell it for, which is more than Phil Jones is worth. And they basically put it on this plot of land that's never going to work. It's too small. The garden's not very big. You know, Dan James could run around it in a second. It's really small. But anyway, back to what I was talking about, me and John falling out. So he's got a new car, brand new car, BMW, bright red, looks really nice. And you know, I'd been avoiding him for a few weeks, and I saw him on a walk with his dog, which I've told you before, he doesn't even like the dog. He only bought that dog as an accessory. It's a reason for him to go out and show off and tell people stories about, you know, how great he is, and, you know, I've got a new car, and, you know, I'm going on holiday to Barbados, and, you know, I'm having a patio put down in the garden. He's just a big show off. Anyway, I saw him on a walk with the dog that he doesn't even know the name of. I always say that. How's your dog doing? Oh, he's doing great. What's his name? I don't know. Then the wife named it. It lives in the same bloody house as you. It's not a long lost relative. It's not surprise. Here's your dog that you never met. He lives in your bloody house. Doesn't know the name of it. Anyway, he said, have you seen my new car? And I tried to be nice. I said, oh, no. And he went, well, you know, I've got a brand new BMW. And I said, I'm only joking, John. Everybody knows about your car. You put a bloody advert out in the local paper about it. Anyway, he said, I said, why have you got a new car anyway, John? He said, well, everybody needs a car. I says, but you work from home. You've been telling us about your new office that was the spare room that you've converted into this high-tech, all singing, all dances office space that you don't even need to use a car anymore, and that you're environmentally conscious. So why have you bought a car? Why have you bought a brand new car then? And he said, I said, you just, some people are saying that you're doing it to show off. And he said, well, do you think I'm doing it to show off? And I said, well, it's not for me to say, John. You know, I don't slag people off behind the back. You know, I'll just say what I think. But you know, people are saying you're a big show off, and you don't even know the name of your dog. This wasn't what upset him. And he said, why shouldn't I have a brand new car? I said, it's wasted on you. There's poor people out there walking to work across fields, you know, to get to work, and you are walking from your bathroom to you're walking a few yards to your office, and then you've got a nice car on your drive like that. You're just flashing, you're just a big show off, John. That's what people are saying. And he said, well, why can't I have a new car then? And I said, but at the end of the day, John, that car on your drive is like being married to Margot Robbie and not having sexual intercourse. Consensual, of course. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, you know, it's as I said, it's like being married to Margot Robbie, and then there's no sexual intercourse. And he said, yeah, but, you know, relationships are not just about sex. You know, friends, you know, you can be really great friends. And I said, oh yeah, I imagine Margot Robbie's a great friend to you when she's off seeing a fancy boy or girl. Don't know which way she swings. Diversity bridge. And he said, what are you talking about my wife for? What's that got to do with anything? And I said, I'm not talking about your wife. I'm talking about your imaginary wife, John. I'm talking about if you were married to Margot Robbie. What I'm saying is, there's no point having a nice car on your drive if you're not going to drive it. And there's no point in being married to Margot Robbie if you're not going to, well, not drive it, but have fun in the bedroom. And he said, well, I don't think we should be talking about wives because I'm a happily married man. And I went, well, while we're at it, I'd be keeping an eye on your wife as well. Well, this is where it went wrong. He said, what do you mean? I was getting a bit shirty with him, which is quite apt for what I'm about to say. He says, well, what's my wife got to do with it? I said, oh, come on, John. She's always out washing that car that neither of you drive. I saw her the other week. She was out in a bloody bikini, and he said it was hot. I said, she's always down the gym. I've seen her down the local football club as well. You know, always got loads of makeup up when you're not there. For me, she looks like a bloody advert for Tinder. Well, that did not go. And you know what? I did go too far, except I went a little bit too far. And he said, well, she was very hot when she was washing the car in a bikini. I said, she's not in Mallorca, John. She's out on a residential street. There was kids and old people around, and she's washing her car in a bikini. And then last week, she was doing it in hot pants and a crop top. He said, well, she was hot again. I said, it wasn't hot. It was 10 degrees and raining. She's 48, John. Anyway, he got very mad and walked off. And I think he actually realised that maybe his wife's looking to have an affair. Which, you know what, I always think honesty is the greatest policy on that one. So me and John aren't getting on too well. But apart from that, oh, don't worry. Even telling that story, I feel guilty. I think I'm going to ring him up later, and I'll tell you what. I'll go around his house with a bottle of car shampoo and one of them buffers. He'll be well happy then. But no, it's good to be back doing a little bit of content on this channel. I must admit I've missed it. I don't miss these bloody big traffic jams. I don't miss this. I don't miss these windscreen wipers though. They're very frustrating, indeed. But no, going good. I mean, talking about wives, people always say, why doesn't Mrs. Goldbridge get onto this channel and do some content? You know what? She's clever, that's why. She's not stupid. She's with it. I mean, like, have you seen what people are like on social media? Just why would you put yourself onto that? I mean, the amount of crap that gets put out there, of which I see a lot. But at the end of the day, if you put yourself on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or anything like that, or TikTok, then at the end of the day, you know, you put yourself out there. There's going to be a lot of good. Well, hopefully, there's going to be some good comments and interaction, but you're gonna get some hate as well. That's what goes with it. So these people who decide they don't want to do that, enough respect, because and you know, my wife doesn't want to do it, and I respect that. She doesn't want anything to be filmed. I've tried, not interested. So you know, you got to respect that, or otherwise you are you know, don't film people without consent. I know you can get them online. I know you can, but it's illegal. You can't do it. You'll go to prison for it, whether they're married to you or not, whether they're your friend or not. You can't film them without consent. That's Goldbridge's lesson today. Always ask. If they say no, drop it. It's not happening. Doesn't matter if you say you're going to keep it locked on your phone as a private thing for you to enjoy when you're away. No. The answer is no. And you just got to move on. Everyone's got to move on. What else do I want to talk? I've been talking about phones. I was thinking about this the other day. I mean, a little bit crude here, but you know, when you go into the toilet for a number 2, let's be blunt, a shit. Like, what did you used to do before phones, or is it just me? Like, when I was at work, I used to really look forward to the rumblings in that area after lunch. Normally 2 o'clock, 10 past 2, normally quite regular. And I'd be like, phone into the toilet. So the great thing about it is, as well, in the olden days, you'd take a paper, but you made it very obvious then. I mean, I'd be like, this is before the phones. I used to work in jobs before phones really existed, by the way. People would be like, oh God, are you from the 60s? I'm not, no, I'm not. I'm from the late 90s. People didn't really have phones, and they weren't very good phones at the time. So whenever you were going for your like 2 o'clock release, and that's a dump, I'd never do that to them. Has anybody ever done that at work or school? They have. Statistically, I'd hate to guess what the average is, and it just makes me feel sick that somebody would go and release themselves at school. Oh, that's a nice top you've got on, Carol. I'm just going to the toilets. No. And it could be a woman. Women like that sort of thing too. It could be, oh, I like the smell of your aftershave, Mark. I'm just going to the toilet with this hairbrush. You know? Maybe they're going to brush their hair. I mean, maybe I just got the wrong idea. But anyway, toilets, phones, yes. So in the olden days, if you didn't have your phone, you'd have to get a paper. But if you hadn't been switched on enough to get the sun or something like that, not the sun. You're not switched on if you get the sun. I don't know. The Times is too big to take for a dump. You'd need to be constipated to read all that. You know, just something that's got some football stuff in it anyway. If you'd not planned ahead, you'd have to say to the office, has anyone got today's paper? And then, yeah, I have. Oh, you're taking it in there. It's very obvious what you're doing. Whereas with a phone, it's a compact paper. It's a gateway to the world. You can do your online banking. You can reply to emails. There's all sorts you can do. You could ring family members, which I draw the line at. You know, I've been caught on the toilet before, and I've thought this is an important call. I remember when I was buying a house a few years ago, I was mid-dump and I had to take the call. And, you know, once you start, you can't stop. And I was like, I'll be fine, I'll take the phone call, and I just won't let anything out. And, yeah, that didn't work. They're telling me the house price, and I'm like, that's great. Are you all right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm fine now. But a friend of mine, who will rename nameless, this is true, and I don't know whether it's true, but why would you tell this story unless it was true? His mum, he'd moved away from home, he wasn't downstairs. His mum used to ring him every week when she was on the toilet, because it was when she was most relaxed. I mean, I knew his mum. I can't look at her now. Well, I can't look at her now because she's dead, but, you know, because this is a few years ago. She didn't die in the toilet, she's not Elvis. I can't look at her now because she's dead, but I'm glad I can't look. I'm not glad she's dead. What I'm saying is, if I did have to look at her now, all I'd think about is her on the toilet, on the phone to Jonathan. It just makes me think, you know. Lovely lady though. Rest in peace, Mrs. Swift. But yeah, I mean, look, you know what? A lot of people enjoy going to the toilet. If you want to ring your son when you're on there, that's fine. Just, I wouldn't let your son know that. I think it would scar you for life. But yeah, phones are such an amazing thing, aren't they, really? When you're going to the toilet, it's like you can, for me, it's catch-up time. You know, what's going on in the world, BBC News maybe. But in a world before phones, if you didn't have a paper, you just sat there with your thoughts, which actually is quite a nice thing. It's quite nice to have a few minutes with your thoughts. It was sunny the other day, not like today. The sun's notable by its absence today, you shit. Bloody middle of June. Well, it's coming towards the end of June now, and it's cloudy. It's cloudy. But the other day it was a sunny day, and I just had my porridge, and I went into the garden to put some recycling out, and I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to have a sit down in the garden. And I had a sit down in the garden, and I just sat there, nothing. There was nothing going on. I just sat there soaking up some rays for 5 minutes, thinking of absolutely nothing. And I tell you what, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. It really was. Life's too involved, isn't it? You know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. We're always on our mechanical devices. And sometimes, you know, reading a good book, that's something I miss. Tony Adams' autobiography, which actually isn't a bad read when as far as football autobiographies go. But yeah, but reading a good book's a good thing. But yeah, life's so fast-paced, isn't it? Relaxation's very important, especially in this social media toxic world we live in. Everybody's just so toxic, aren't they? At the start of COVID, I know a lot of people were dying, but people were being nice to each other. I mean, I'm not saying that's a positive. I mean, look, at the end of the day, most of the nation being nice, clapping the NHS, one hand, lots of people dying of COVID on the other hand, there isn't really a winner there. People will say that there is, but there is actually a winner. I mean, well, look, I don't want to get lost up in all that, but what I'm saying is that like a lot of people who died from COVID, which is tragic and horrible, that niceness and camaraderie has died as well. I don't know whether you've noticed this, but we've moved into what I call the total shit stage, where people have just become very, very selfish and self-motivated, which is ironic because I get accused of that. But you know me, you know, in the early days I used to react to all this stuff, and now I try and just be professional. But for me, the two things that are massively important are trust and loyalty. I've always said it, and you know, anybody who knows me knows that. That's really, really important to me. But I think we've moved into this world now of self something, not self-harm or anything like that. It's something totally different, and you know, get help if you're feeling like that. And I'm being serious. I can go from joke, serious to all sorts. I've got a wide range. You know, I'm trying to get into acting, you see. I did the Paddy Power thing. 4 takes that was, and it wasn't me who was getting it wrong, it was Sean Wright Phillips. I got it right first time, tipping the water over my head, but you know, he kept getting his lines wrong. But yeah, I have done that. If anyone's looking for some acting, I'll draw the line at Hollyoaks, but pretty much anything else I'm available for. And yeah, the world is it's gone very self-motivated, I suppose. And you know, it's not a bad thing, but I see a lot of people about, you know, grind, hard work, we're all, you know, this is what it's all about, like it's a new thing. The Beatles went to Germany in the 60s. Nobody thought that they would be any good. They were doing loads of concerts in Germany for a couple of years, you know, every night. They became the biggest band in the world. People think like hard work is a new thing. Oh, you know, it's just about hard work. It actually is about talent, and actually I think on the way up it's also very important to have a little bit of respect and, you know, loyalty. It's not just about being a selfish grinder, which I think is something else again as well. I think a selfish grinder is probably quite attractive to certain people who like that sort of thing. But yeah, you know what? The world is full of fools who never get it right. I'm going to be in trouble, actually. I'm meant to be getting petrol. I said to the wife, I'm just going out to get some petrol, and actually I was going to film Driving with Goldbridge, and I've just realised I'm driving completely the wrong direction, and I need to be home very, very soon, because we're going out for a pub lunch, and I'm absolutely in the wrong place. You've took a wrong turning again. We all take a wrong turning in life. We all make mistakes. No regrets. Robbie Williams said it. No regrets. They don't work. And that's probably the one bit of advice I would give people. It took me a long time to figure this out, but and it's not an easy lesson, because it doesn't necessarily mean anything, because you know, it doesn't mean that when people let you down or stab you in the back or betray you or disappoint you, doesn't mean it won't hurt, but it's a good bit of advice. Don't go chasing a loss in gambling is a good bit of advice. Never do that. If you have a bet on in anything and you're convinced it's going to come in and it doesn't, don't chase the loss. It's a bit like this on FIFA 21 Ultimate Career Mode as well. It's not Ultimate Mode. If you're having a bad day, don't chase the loss. You'll just keep getting worse. Mentally, it's not good for you. Just walk away, take a deep breath, go and find that 5 minutes in the sun. See what I did there? And just be calm. And if people upset you or disappoint you, or they don't live up to your expectations, or they're not loyal, or they're not trustworthy, or anything like that, don't react. Don't get into an argument. Just get dragged down to that level. Know who you are, know what you're doing, and focus on you. Most important thing in life is what you stand for. If you're a selfish shit, well, you know, the world will out you. If you're a nice person, the people that matter are the people that you need to be nice to, and that's what matters. You're never going to convince everybody. You're never going to convince anybody. Haters are going to hate. There's some very sad people out there who spend their lives absolutely obsessed with people they know nothing about, because their own lives are not living up to the expectation. I don't really want to call them failures, but I think we all know that they are. They're failures, and you know, they live their life. They don't live the life like Norma Jean or like a candle in the wind. They don't live their life like that. They live their life looking in the mirror, getting angry at people because don't know why. I think that, you know, I don't agree with hard work for yourself, hard work, because it's a bit of a selfish motto. But what I do agree with, I totally agree with, is you're the masters of your own destiny. Success is achievable, but you don't need to be a shit to do it. You don't need to be a ruthless person. You know, that's what the 80s were all about. Yuppies, Gordon Gekko, you know, selfish ruthlessness. I know a lot of good people who are successful. I've rambled a bit at the end. I preferred the phone about having a poo. I preferred the phone poo talk. Don't pull out. Imagine that. Imagine if I was actually filming somebody cut me up. I don't mean like with a knife, I mean like car. That'd be very disappointing, but haters would love it. They would love it. It'd be like the ultimate meme. Oh, look at Goldbridge breaking his neck because someone broke out to him. This is the best clip of 2021. But there are people out there, that's what I'm talking about. There are vile people out there who love that sort of thing. Nothing would make them happier than to hear that, you know, Goldbridge has been in a serious RTC. And I know that sounds bad, but I'm using myself in that name. There are people out there that would love that. I live with that every day, and I'm sure, you know, there's plenty of other people who have that as well. You know, you almost become distant to it, that there's people out there that are wishing you bad, even though they've never met you and they know nothing about you, and they make up lies about you. You know. But anyway, this is a positive video. That's what Goldbridge is all about. The Drum and Monkey, lovely little pub that. In Noel. I don't know whether it's Noel or Dorwich. I think it's Dorwich actually. But look, it's good to be back. Please subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video. It's good to be back. If you enjoy it being back, get in the comments. I want to see some sort of questions and stuff you'd like me to cover in the future. I'm hoping to bring back, well, I am going to bring back Cooking with Goldbridge. I just need to, you know, the Euros has made it very difficult to do something like that. But this sort of thing is quite easy to do. Bit of reactions. I'd like to do some more reaction videos. It's just doing it for the right sort of thing. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. You're stars. I love doing stuff on this channel. It's just not football. It's not anything I normally do. It's very difficult and I enjoy it. So thanks everyone. Anybody who watches it, anybody's welcome. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll speak to you all soon.